friend coerced me into signing up for the Lakewood Half Marathon, and I got a little bit overexcited and thought that's a great idea, so I did. And then I thought, oh my god, how am I going to ever do a half marathon? And I've paid for it now, so now I feel I have to do it. And then I saw on the website that they had a link to RaceTeam, and so I checked that out and I thought, okay, this is the only way it's ever actually going to happen. So I clicked on the buttons and paid my money before I had a chance to even think about what I was doing.
Well, I don't think I'd ever run more than about 10 or 11 Ks in my entire life before RaceTeam, and so I guess the thing I was most worried about was could I run 21 Ks?
For me, doing RaceTeam was about getting the best results I could from running and technically being okay and managing my pain. So for me, before the second RaceTeam, I'd only done 2 half marathons, and my intention was to drop minutes off my time, which I have done very well.
I'd always wanted to do a half, and the idea of doing all those long runs on my own was sort of a little unappealing, but I wanted to do the half. So the idea of running with other people, I'd never run with other people before, and having coaches and learning how to kind of run properly. Not knowing anyone, probably. I knew that, I've been a runner before. I'd never run more than 10K before though, so I knew I could do the half marathon. It was more that not knowing anyone.
Well, before I joined up, I wasn't even running more than probably about 3.5 Ks at a go, and it was a bit of, I was huffing and puffing really, it was pretty hard. And I saw that we got the link saying how, the program and our first run together was 7.5 Ks, I think, and I just thought, oh my god, what have I done? I'm not going to be able to run 7.5 Ks. Really.
And were you afraid?
I was petrified.
Really?
I was so nervous. I was absolutely petrified turning up. I thought that everybody would just run and there'd be me at the back. And so I kind of thought what I'd do is I'd just let everybody go. And if I was really at the back and there was nobody else with me, everybody else had stormed off, then I might just slink off and get back in my car and drive home.
Physically, I got a lot faster, and I believe doing interval work really helped, and good technique, and learning to fire out my weaker leg and lift my glutes, and just good running technique, which I craved, and that's why I came back for the second one, because I was just starting to get it. And I believe that's where 3 minutes came off my time. Really good technique.
I think the main thing I learned was that I can set myself a goal and I can achieve it, even if at the start I really didn't think I was going to make it, to be brutally honest. I signed up and I thought, yeah, I'll go, but I'll see. I don't really think I'm going to ever complete a half marathon. I think that's just something that's beyond me. So to actually manage to achieve it means that I can now look at other goals that perhaps I didn't think I could achieve, and I can go, well, I achieved the half marathon, so maybe that's something else that I can achieve. And
look, I've made some good friends through it, which was great. Running a half marathon obviously is a big achievement. Probably the biggest thing though was learning how to run. Like, I was quite cynical about whether the technique stuff, which we probably only spent maybe 10 minutes on for a few weeks, I was quite cynical whether that would actually help, and I'd been a runner for years and really could I change my technique. And that has, people comment now that know me well, comment that my technique's changed significantly.
Really?
So that's probably what I got the most out of it, how to run more efficiently.
So sort of discipline at getting in it and getting the Ks done, getting out running. So I was sort of on the beginner end, so we're doing four runs a week, and gradually building up with the long runs on Saturday. Is that if I'd been trying to do it myself, it just simply wouldn't have happened. I wouldn't have got out of bed at 6 o'clock in the morning to go for a run. I'm a night owl. I'm one of those little birds that gets up all chirpy in the morning. But and in the end, I actually loved that. I loved getting up for the group runs on the Wednesday one and Saturday. It was great.
It was huge, and it was be one of probably the best. Well, it was the best thing that happened to me last year, really, doing that. And the half marathon would have been good without RaceTeam, but it just made the whole thing so enjoyable. And I just absolutely loved those 10 weeks. I just look forward to them, and I liked the people that I was running with, and loved seeing the coaches and getting their weekly emails, and the whole experience was amazing. And then crossing the finish line, it was pretty easier than I thought, because I'd had so much good training and support leading up to it.
I knew I was going to get it before I ran it that day. I could just tell because I felt really relaxed, and for me relaxing running on my third half it was experiencing. The previous one I felt quite stressed because I hadn't learned about good breathing technique and relaxing and just doing that kind of visualization and stuff, which helps you get a little faster, a little further and really enjoy your run. And I just loved my run on race day. I knew to keep to my watch, so I kept focused on my watch, and I just kept meeting and bettering my watch time, and so I kind of felt real confident. So when I crossed the finish line, I just felt like it was just part of the completing of that process. So the actual run itself felt enjoyable, which I'd never experienced before in a run.
Great.
Loved it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the race. The Lakehood is 3 times 7 Ks, and so I found that worked really well for me. You know, 7 Ks is no big deal, so run around the first time and say, okay, that's okay, and let's do that again, and so do it again, and then, oh well, that's okay, just one more time, and round you go. I was probably in better condition at the end than I should have been, but I think my splits were about the same to within a minute of each other, so you know, it was good. I really enjoyed it.
And the experience of crossing the finish line?
Oh, that was cool.
Yeah.
And the week, 2 weeks before, we'd had a long run that I had to do on my own because I'd been away and missed the Saturday run, and gone out and got to about 19 Ks, sort of ran out from home and back, and I was thinking, oh gee, I should, you know, I could easily do another 2 Ks with it. No, I won't. I'll save this for a race day, and so that was really good. Really enjoyed that.
Markers in my head that, you know, when I got to 5 Ks it was well done, you know, you're doing well, and same at 10 Ks and at 15, and techniques for trying to get through the hard bits, which for me was about 16 Ks onwards, and just trying to get your technique okay so that you can make it to the finish, and eventually I got there.
What was it like crossing the line?
It was amazing.
Really?
It was absolutely amazing. Yeah, no, it was. I mean, you know, there was heaps of people cheering me on. Everybody's going, "Go, Rosa!" and I could hear them from miles away. And you start to speed up, and yeah, no, it was absolutely amazing.
So anybody who wants time out, anybody who wants to get better at what they're doing, and for me, anybody who's ever thought, "Oh, I'd love to do a half, but I'm so unfit," this program really works. The 10-week program really works, and I just love watching people who couldn't run before more than 5 Ks or even 3 Ks get through it, and that also, you know, to me that was just such a fizz to watch others. For me it was about getting there faster, and I did that. So anybody wants to just get faster at running, it's good. Improve technique.
I wouldn't have been able to pull it off on my own, and I found that, you know, it was enjoyable. In terms of money, it was good value. And it's my friend Megan, who works here with me, who entered me in this race as a birthday present. Sent me the link to the race team and said this would be a good investment, and it was, because I wouldn't have been able to pull it off on my own.
Do it. I couldn't fault it. There's nothing that I would kind of think would make it better. And of course there would be, but it was just so good. I think doing those long training runs is on your own it would be hard, and so having people to do it with, and kind of keeping yourself honest that you've made a commitment to something, you've paid for it, people are expecting you to be there, that's really good. And learning how to run properly, and kind of with proper technique and using your body more efficiently. So I don't think I want to do a half marathon without RaceTeam.
I would definitely recommend it to people. I think there's 2 reasons. The first reason for me is that I find running quite boring, to be honest, and I'm not a runner. I don't really enjoy it particularly much. I know it's good for me. So I have tried for half marathons a various number of times, and I've got up to about the 8 or 10K mark and then thought, oh, I'm so bored, I'm bored rigid, or laziness prevails, and I think, well, you know, 8 Ks is fine, that's good. So I think RaceTeam's really good for people who are lazy, like myself, or you know, you need a bit of a push to get there. And meeting twice a week and doing the long runs with the trainers meant that you've only got 2 other times in the week that you've got to get yourself out there for a run, and they're not big runs, so they're easily doable. And so I think that, and it's suitable for anybody. I mean, you know, I could hardly run 4 Ks at the start. So if I can do it, anybody can do it.